Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Diablo 3 with the Crusader playthrough with yours truly, KageKaze. The analytic playthrough, where we go through, talk about all sorts of things, and chitter on about things like damage numbers and theory crafting, I suppose. Anyway, but today we are playing with patch 2.0.4. And with this comes some very nice improvements to the Crusader. Several skills have been increased in damage, mostly single target skills. So we're looking at Punish getting increased to 270 weapon damage and Justice getting increased to 240. So you can see those have been very nicely improved. Smite and Slash not really getting much of a change there because they hurt more than one enemy as a general rule. Also, something that will make this a little bit easier is that the Crusader, being kind of a mid-range class, not really a ranged fighter, not really a melee fighter, we've been given some survivability bonus. Now, monks and barbarians, they get a 30% damage reduction because they're always in the middle, in the thick of things and fighting monsters. As Crusaders, honestly, there's a lot of good stuff here that keep us alive, specifically with runes and how some of the base abilities work, like Punish, which gives us a block chance. So we were designed to be pretty survivable without this defensive bonus. But they decided to go ahead and give us a mid-range solution of giving us 15% damage reduction rather than 30% like the other two classes get. So that might make things a little bit better. So we're going to go ahead and move forward. We are... Where were we? We were going into the cathedral. We have Cormac. Who apparently is still being held, so, very odd that I would have this waypoint and not have Cormac with me. So I guess I have to go free him again. Okay. Well, my shield bash has had its damage increased to 370, so I'll just make good on that. Feeling pretty good here with the additional damage that I've gained with my new two-handed weapon. You can see I actually have some pretty good killing speed happening right now. And I'm very close to leveling. I think when I free Cormac, I might just... So let's go free him now. I've already stopped them from holding your weapons, so here, just take them.
I am Carve, warrior of the Templar. If it is the Skeleton King you seek, then you will have to fight your way past John Carve. There is no reason we should hunt alone.
Very well.
It's dangerous to go alone. Here, have a Cormac. Alright, I think I'll go ahead and scan over here for, I believe there'd be a treasure chest. We've got plenty of time. Moving on into the Skeleton King now, so now that we've got Cormac, we've got one more floor to explore. Don't think it should take too long to... Whoa, what was that? Glorious! Indeed.
I require more wrath. I wish I could do that. His wounds are deep.
That was silly of me. Still taking quite a bit of damage here, but definitely surviving with the improved armor, and of course the 15% damage reduction is certainly helping. Just go ahead and pop my law so I can attack a little bit faster. Oh! It's a lot of damage. Putting all those orbs on top.
Not enough wrath.
Sheesh. Okay, monsters still don't want to die very quickly, apparently. No upgrades from the items that we found, but we did gain a level, so let's take a look at the skills, shall we? I've got a new passive, but I can't run it yet because I'm still running with Heavenly Strength. However, once I get to level 20, I should be able to pick up anything I want. So that's about 4 levels away. But what did I get? I got Righteousness. Primary skills generate an additional 3 Wrath and increase maximum Wrath by 30. That's pretty nice. Can definitely be helpful, but I'm not too worried about it right now. Let's just kind of look at what else. Nothing on secondary. We've got a new defensive. We have Consecration. Consecration is a 30-second cooldown. It consecrates the ground for 20 yards around me for 10 seconds. Me and any ally in it are healed for 43 life per second while standing on the consecrated ground. So it's a nice area of effect healing ability. Again, kind of a monk-inspired thing. Rather than like Breath of Heaven, which heals immediately, this will heal in an area around me. It would appear that I don't have anything else that I have been given. It was just a passive and a primary. Oh, and one thing I do want to point out is Steed Charge has been changed as well with this last patch. It used to be a 2-second ability, and there was a rune that would increase it to 3. It's now down to 1.5, and then the rune that increases it goes to 2. So instead of getting a full second off the rune, you only get half a second. But the cooldown on it has been reduced fairly significantly. So you will be able to use Steed Charge more often, which I think is the most important thing. Even though it doesn't last as long, the ability to be able to use it more often is important, because it's an escape move. It can be used to damage enemies, but you want to be able to use it more often because it's something that you can use to break out of roots like Jailer. Now, it used to be apparently you could use it to break out of stuns. I never really thought to try that. But it did lose the stun ability, but you can still get out of roots and things like that. So I think we're getting close to fighting Janda, yes. Black magic bars our way, but the will of a Crusader is stronger. Oh, wait, sorry, did I ruin it? I ruined it. It's okay, Cormac, I still love you. I still love you, sir. Come on, Janda. You and me. Mano e Templar e undead.
How could you succumb to this coven? The coven is my brotherhood now. The powers we serve will soon rule.
Ah, okay. Stuck on the wall. Alright, let's put down the consecration. Get the cooldown ticking.
My wrath is low.
Okay, I'm gonna pop my law so I can attack more often. Charge in on him. Oh yeah, Jandar is very quickly gonna die here.
Please forgive me. My vision was clouded by the Coven's evil magic.
Betrayal can never be forgiven. Thank you for your aid. I will go with you on your hunt for the Skeleton King. But there is one condition. If we find the sacred tomes of my order, they are mine.
If these tomes are not the key to redeeming the Zakarum faith, then they are indeed yours.
Then onwards we go to fight the Skeleton King. May the battles never end.
Oh my god, he cloned himself. Alright, so last time I came here I had all the skills, but this time I do not because he still hasn't reached level 20, so there is one skill I can't choose this time. Alright, I have, it looks like a couple Crusader shields, so I can't give him a shield, but I can give him a weapon, I think. First, let's take a look at this. I have a one-handed axe. It does make me lose damage, toughness, and healing. I don't really care about going to the passive that uses it, and as far as the quick attack speed, well, it's nice. I don't really need it. It's got some nice strength on it, though, so I can go ahead and give it to him. Oh, and I actually get to see that it takes level 18 to use his relic. I forgot about that requirement just because of how quickly you get here. Alright, let's give him that. I'll have to give him a shield later. I don't have anything else that I can do. That is a 25? Yeah, okay, we're good. Alright, so what should we get in? We've got Heal. Heals you and the Templar for 770. And we've got Intervene, sorry. Taunts enemies within 10 yards of you for 3 seconds when you are hit. That'd be kind of nice to get some enemies off of me, but with things like Consecrate Ground right now and the fact that I'm taunting enemies, I don't think I need it. So let's go ahead and have him give me a heal. Got Loyalty that generates 26 life per second for me and the Templar, and Intimidate, which enemies that are hit by him or hit the Templar are slowed by 80%. That's not too bad. That can be helpful if I need to kite. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and go with the healing. Honestly, when it comes to him, unless I am a pure ranged character that needs to get away, I would rather just him heal. So we're going to go ahead and have him do that. Now he does have charge for 10 second cooldown. Charges target, does 280 weapon damage, stuns all enemies within 8 yards, so he can move in, stun very quickly. That is nice. Then he also has Onslaught that delivers a massive blow. 800% weapon damage. That's pretty heavy hitting, actually. 800% weapon damage. Considering his damage is at 64 and mine is at 144, he's only at like half of my damage right now. I think I don't really need the stuns, so let's go ahead and have him do a big hit instead. We'll have him be kind of a damage dealer for now. We're going to go ahead and move on. I am running low on potions again, down to 5. Let's go ahead and talk to our good friend.
Tell me about your order. Are you born into it?
No. Our scripture says, as a farmer reaps his wheat, so must the order harvest and purify the weeds.
You were a weed?
A criminal. The order took me in and saved my life. More than that, my very soul.
Oh, here we go. Pretty big pack here. So let's go ahead and get in there. Push some enemies back. Put down the Consecrate. I'll pop the Law as well so that I can get more attack speed. And that, ladies and gentlemen, worked out very nicely. Alright, so there's not too much else going on here. We'll go ahead and... oh, we've got a pretty big pack here of these flying types. That knockback of one-on-one is pretty interesting. Now, what's interesting about this, though, is I didn't realize these skeletons can jump out of the way of an attack. That's the second time I've noticed it. I noticed it in the last video. I'm noticing it now. I'm kind of seeing that they will actually get away from me. They will make me miss. I'll charge in and just take that. I'm gonna stand here, get a little bit of healing. Between Cormac's passive healing and the healing I'm getting from Consecrate, I'm pretty survivable now. Actually, running around with Cormac is probably going to make this a lot easier. A lot of the earlier parts by myself.
When we return from our...
I think that's pretty much why it's fairly dangerous, is you don't have a follower. You know, having a follower can be very important to survival in a lot of these areas. It doesn't take you long to get your first follower, but with the increased leveling speed, really you're supposed to get him... you know, if you do normal, you would get him very quickly.
Dark magic lingers here. My wrath is low.
Yeah, I'm glad I used Consecrate because I am getting surrounded here. We need to go to the summoners here. Attack speed going up. Now, honestly, this Law with the attack speed is great for two-handed weapons because I don't feel like... I mean, my attack speed is certainly slower, but thanks to the improved attack speed on the Law, it doesn't feel too bad. Like, honestly, before, the attack speed was heavily slow. Now, granted, you would notice between a one-hand and a two-hand, but it was noticeable far more before. I think as I level up, what I'm going to want to do is hold on to a one-handed weapon and keep it with me at all times. Because as I level, and if I get a new law that makes me go away from the attack speed, I may want to make sure that I'm not using a two-handed weapon. I'll have to consider that, because it may still be fine even with two-handed weapons. Now the root on that is actually very useful too there. You can see him trying to get away, and I stopped him from running by hitting him with the shield, keeping him in place. Oh, here we go. This will be pretty nice. Let's, uh-oh, we've got a pack. Let's try and not touch the pack first. Uh-oh, so much for that. Alright, there goes one explosion. Chain reaction. Excellent. Very nice. Attack speed going up. Let's get some more fury.
Not enough wrath.
Some more wrath, fury. What? It's fury spirit. Yeah, that's what it is. Fury, hatred, something like that.
I tried to count how many we've killed, but I've lost track.
Well, it is definitely feeling a lot better. So let's see, two-handed sword, can't really use that. Gloves have intelligence on it, so heck with that. 17 damage, one-handed axe, so nope, I've already given Cormac Peta. Oh, this will be glorious.
Require more wrath. Yes.
Sorry, Cormac. Come on, get up, buddy. It wasn't that bad. Alright, we got Punished Celerity. We got Laws of Justice as an active rune, apparently, or an active ability. Alright, so we're going to single target now with a nice big two-handed weapon. Punish Celerity. When you block with hardened senses, you gain 15% increased attack speed for 3 seconds. This will be pretty nice, I think. 15% increased attack speed with a two-handed weapon means I will start attacking fairly quickly. Now, if I weren't already using Heavenly Strength, I might even consider going to Fervor. You can attack for 10% at speed faster when the enemy dies around you. Combine that with Celerity, and you could be attacking pretty quickly. But I still need strength or I just won't be able to use my shield. Nothing on the defensive side. I am moving into the enemy with shield bash still, which is probably fine. Considering I'm using punish now, that makes sense really to charge in. I could go back to sweep attack though with blazing sweep. That's not too bad. That hits pretty hard. And it's a pretty nice ability with a big two-hander. Sweep attack's damage looks like it has gone up too. It went up to 440. It looks like, I believe it was just 400 before. So we're looking at increased damage there. But this is 370 compared to 440. Let's keep with the shield bash, shall we? Let's see what we got under laws. We got Laws of Justice. So I'm losing Laws of Valor. So even though I'm gaining attack speed with Celerity, I'm going to lose attack speed because I'm losing Laws of Valor. So we'll have to see how this feels. I'm going to lose as a passive 8%. Yeah, that's a pretty good loss. So I'm losing 8%, but I could gain 15% with Celerity. So it may be a wash, because obviously I'll be attacking slower for a bit, and then when an enemy hits me, I'll be getting it back. Laws of Justice, though, will give me a passive 34 resist all, which is actually really nice, especially at early levels like this. I don't have a lot of resistance at this stage of the game. You know, it's pretty early on, level 17. You know, we're only seeing like one type of element coming from enemies anyway, so 34 res all is pretty nice. And when you activate it, you get 119. So you pretty much triple that, more so actually. when you activate it. That's pretty heavy resistances there, so when I'm standing in something or I know something's about to hit pretty hard, that can be pretty nice. So we'll go ahead and activate that. I'm losing the attack speed now. I believe that is everything. Looks like it. So we'll have to move in. Let's kind of take a look at what the attack speed is without that. That's not too bad. What is this flail? It's a 1.15, so it's actually not as slow as you might expect. I mean, look at this one-handed. It's a two-handed weapon that does 1.15, and compared to a spear that does 1.2. So no wonder my attack speed doesn't feel too bad. I think the two-handed flails... they're a little faster than the two-handed. That's 110. That's a sword. A lot of other two-handed weapons are pretty slow, though. Look at this mace at 0.9. Okay. Well, we're looking pretty good, then. Looking pretty good. It doesn't look like there's anything over here. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to navigate my way towards the Skeleton King. And there we go. There's the block, and my attack speed has already been improved. Let's kind of take a look at it if we can here. Attack speed, I'm at 1.15. Now it's 1.3. That's pretty good. Now it doesn't give me a lot of AoE like the other rune for this made me explode in fire as I was blocking. This is pretty nice though with Consecrate because I've got the increased block chance, which means I'm taking less damage. No need to activate the law here because, well, then I'm only taking physical damage at this point. Granted, Resol does improve physical resistances, so if I needed to, I could pop it. If I felt like my life was getting really low, I could maybe pop the law while in Consecrate to reduce the damage I'm taking while getting healed. There's certainly a route I could take. Now at some point I need to try dropping a chandelier on something, because I have heard that the chandelier damage has been improved for some of the higher difficulties. I'd like to see that. Wow, look at the pure white glow on that shield. That's pretty cool looking. I danced around that barrel like Cain used to dance before he went into his hut. I don't know if many of you remember that bug.
Why is that?
You fight with both honor and ferocity. I know that a pure soul must burn within you.
Oh, you say that to all the girls, Cormac. And all the adventurers, and yeah, pretty much you say that to everybody, Cormac. But I don't know if many of you remember that bug, and maybe you haven't seen it. There was an issue with Deckard Cain's pathing when he was going to go back into his house after you turned in a quest, and he would walk back to the house and he would get stuck on the corner of the house and walk back and forth, so it looked like he was dancing. It was pretty funny. Can't an old man dance outside of his house without people thinking there's something strange going on? Jeez. You would think people haven't seen a Horadrim dance before. Well, maybe they haven't. I am the last, after all. Except for when Tyrael comes around, thinking that he could just revive the bloody thing.
I require more wrath.
Yeah, this is working out pretty nicely here. The healing I'm getting from Cormac, the increased block chance, the survivability is definitely not an issue right now. It would appear that I can use my shield bash to go through enemies if I have a target in the distance. So it appears not only to be a useful skill for getting into combat, but it looks like I can use it to chase down like summoners who put up a wall of enemies between me and them. I'll try and test it a little more, but it really seems like this is going to be one of those skills that I can actually use. Oh! Well, right there. See? A trap that actually killed a whole bunch of enemies. Yep, you saw that right there. I wanted to go ahead and test that again. It looks like if I have an enemy and I charge through them, it knocks everything out of my way. So I can use shield, but this is nice. Knowing that functionality can be very helpful. Because it means that I can now pick any target I want in order to hit them, charge in and hit them. But it also means I have to be careful, because if there's a target I want to hit but I don't want to get on top of that target, then I want to make sure I click in front of them. You know, like, here, let's see. So, boom, so that's great, moved in and hit him, but what if I didn't want to hit him? So he's kind of stuck down there now. What if I wanted to hit that guy?
Not enough wrath.
Or if I want to hit the guy behind him, you know? Basically, I want to hit the guys behind these guys. I have to make sure I target in front of me. Like so. Alright, I know an explosion's about to happen, so I pop my law to improve my resistances. So you can see there I took a lot of damage in explosions, but the resistance increase allowed me to survive the explosions pretty well, actually. That and I had Consecration up to make sure I got healed. Legendary Bracers. Nice to see that we're getting another legendary. Oh, I've seen this pair before. Yes, the Gungdo gear. Cool. Nothing too special about them. Looks like crowd control duration, actually. That's a pretty nice stat. I don't see that on a lot of gear. It's only 4% here, but I believe at high levels, that can get pretty high. I believe I've seen crowd control reduction roll at like 30% or something like that on some high-level legendaries, so that's really nice. So we've got Strength, Vital, 11 Res All, so I've got my first Resistance All item, I do believe. I don't think anything else I have has that. That's a pretty advanced stat for this stage. Even this thing just got Strength. Cool, so I'm starting my Res All, and it's got some life on it as well. Excellent. There we go. 2 legendaries on my character at level 17, and I haven't even beaten the Skeleton King yet. I'm feeling good about that. Alright, let's move in. So nice to see that some of the traps are improved. Now there are some traps that haven't been improved, I believe. Like I believe some of the hot coal traps in the Halls of Agony have not had their damage increased. At least it felt like it hadn't. But some of these other traps, I'm glad, because honestly, some of my best experiences in this game when I first started playing it were tripping one of these beams that were holding up the wall and killing an entire group of monsters like I just did earlier, and just watching them all die. I absolutely love that. And now that that experience can return again. Massive group of enemies. Trying to keep myself on the outer edge here. I guess I'm just trying to keep myself situated so that I can hit the first enemy in the pack. There we go. And just knock my shield into the entire group there. So obviously I don't want to go too far back into the group without lagging. Okay, yeah, I need to stop these summoners. So now that I know a bit more about how this ability works, I like it a bit more. I liked it before. You know, it was pretty neat to know that, hey, I can charge in, get into the thick of things if I really wanted to. But I like some of the other abilities a bit more. But now that I know that I can use it to charge through groups to get the summoners and things like that, that's very useful. That's very useful knowledge. Of course, if I had a different secondary ability, there are some I will be getting later that can be even more useful for taking out ranged targets. We'll be happy to go over those once I get them.
There are forces arrayed against us that are stronger than we ever imagined. Some greater purpose lies behind these trials, but I do not yet know it.
Well, we'll learn more by moving than talking.
Nothing like trapping a bunch of enemies into a door. Popping my law to give me improved resistances. Kind of need it. Not only are these enemies blowing up from their own mechanics, but blowing up from molten. Okay, let's do a little bit of damage here. I kind of like it when these guys show up in packs, because if you can kill one of them, you can pick off a straggler, one that's not the main boss, you can usually pick off the others just with their own damage. It's very nice to know that they can hurt each other. I did level to level 18. So let's pick up the items we got to make sure there's no upgrades. Actually, there's some items up here. Some essence, crafting material. Any upgrades in the belt department? No, because I've got a legendary. And nope, nothing really. Cormac, what have you got? You have a 25, right? Yes. Nothing I can really give you then. Right then. Thank you, sir. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Alright, so new primary. So going away from Punish. So I'm moving quickly through the primary abilities. We're going into Slash, and this is Carve. Carve a larger area in front of you, increasing the number of enemies hit. So it just changes the way it hits, pretty much. So we're getting 190 damage still on it. So let's just kind of like take a look at it as a base real quick. Show it off. You see there, it's a pretty cool looking ability. Putting out a shockwave of damage. And of course, if I switch it to Electrify, see, it pretty much hits out in the same distance, but just has a really neat lightning effect. This will completely change the way it works, though. We go to Carve, and it looks like, I think it's going out the same distance. Originally, I thought it was a little shorter, but I think it really is the same distance. But you can see that it's much wider now. I got a very large arc now in front of me that I'm hitting. Alright, looks like we're going to a new secondary. We're going to Blessed Hammer again, only we're getting Burning Wrath. So Blessed Hammer, as I've said before, got a damage increase as well. I completely forgot about that. Went up to 200%. Not a huge... no, wait, isn't 200% what it was? I think it was, actually. Because that was 400, that was 200. And I believe that's fine. So never mind me. I do believe that is the same. Actually, yes, Blessed Hammer didn't get an increase, but it did improve some things. I believe Burning Wrath was one of them, because it got an area increase on it. Well, no worries about that. We'll take a look at it, and we'll judge it as we see it. So the hammer is engulfed in fire. It has a 25% chance to scorch the ground over which it passes. Enemies who pass through the scorched ground take 150% weapon damage as fire per second. So it gets an additional damage on it, and it burns. So that makes it pretty useful even against enemies that you're standing right next to, because it'll put a fire patch on them. It'll do the 200% damage it hits them, and then it will possibly burn under them for another 150. Okay, so it's only a 25% chance to proc, but it can be pretty nice. Let's go ahead and hit it there. Now it does say it has a chance to proc the fire on the ground. What it really doesn't say, and the wording is a bit vague on it, it says the 25% chance to scorch the ground over which it passes. Really what it's saying is a 25% chance to scorch the ground when it hits an enemy. I'm not sure why it says it, because if you look at that, no fire appeared under me. If it were 25% chance to scorch the ground that it's passing, it should have just worked, but it doesn't. I would go ahead and we'll try it once again over here. Just get on the dais, right? Exhibition time. Beautiful thing about the hammer is that it is very low cost. So it is spammable. And now I'm fairly close range, so that'll be nice. I am losing some defensive capabilities without my shield, so I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and keep Laws of Justice for more defense, even though I lose the attack speed. Alright, we're moving out of Consecration. We're getting shield glare back with Uncertainty. Enemies that are caught in the glare have a 50% chance to be charmed and fight for you for 8 seconds. So great, they're charmed. They're either blinded or charmed, so that's great. I like that. It can be quite helpful. I am losing Shield Bash, so I'm thinking I might get rid of Provoke. It is nice to get the extra Wrath, but the hammer is cheap. And since I don't have Shield Bash, it's a possibility that I could get stuck with the enemy again. So I'm going to get Steed Charge back. I love how fast you move with that thing. So even with a half-second reduction on it, you still move pretty quick.
Draw your weapons.
Let's go ahead and use the hammer, and you can see there it is. It's burning on the ground, and it's hit several enemies, and they've taken quite a bit of damage from passing through it. Wow, look at that. Huge burst of damage. And I found another legendary already? Not only did I find another legendary, I found bracers. I don't know how to take this. I'm not sure how to... Huh? God, look at that. Just look at the burning. The burning! I've got a topical cream for that, you know. Alright,
Ever afraid in battle?
No. I feel fear before the battle and after.
Few could admit that so simply.
I like that answer. Before and after, but during? No. Alright, well this is a completely different bracer. Let's see if it's any better. And in a way it is. Okay, I'm going to lose 20% toughness. Why do I gain 27 strength, attack speed, has armor increase, life per hit, ranged and melee take thorns damage, and monster kills grant experience. So it's nice. It is certainly nice. It's the steady strikers. But the strength increase and attack speed, that definitely gets the damage up, but only by 2.8%. To lose 20% toughness on this, even though I'm gaining 18% healing. 18% healing is really not a huge thing right now. It's 9 life on hit. That can still be nice compared to what? Almost 3,000 damage, though? I think I'd rather keep the toughness for now. I know it's an increase on both, but I'm losing vitality, and I'm losing resol, and I'm losing life. I mean, that's quite a bit of health I'll be losing. Like, if I switch these out, I'm at 2,900. Let's put this in. And I go to 24. I mean, it's a pretty good chunk of life for this level. I think I'll keep what I've got. Nice to find, though. I can disenchant that and get myself one of the crafting materials, which will allow me to craft other items going forward. Certainly. Hopefully the legendary drop rate continues to be good for me. I'll be very happy about that, because then I can actually craft some items. And honestly, there's a set that looks really good on the Crusader. It's the Born set, because you get some really nice golden shoulder pads and a really nice sword too. It just looks perfect on the Crusader. It looks like it belongs with the Crusader, because it's like a holy glowing sword like Excalibur or something like that. Hammer is very useful for taking this pillar and its enemies out. You see it's a very nice wide AoE. And granted, I can't target it. It's got a center from me. As you can see that all the archers that are coming at, or all the skeletons that are coming after me, pretty much getting hit there. Of course, I did a resource there, so I gotta get it back. And then I can just spam again.
I do not understand how evil walks in the day. Should it not fear the light?
Should it? We are good, but we do not fear the darkness.
But we are courageous. Surely you don't suggest evil is brave?
Wow, that seems to be like I don't think I've ever heard him say that before. So is that like a whole new response? Anyone that's maybe heard this line, I'd like to know if it came from anyone else. Normally, you get a response from the player that suggests that, you know, maybe light is indifferent or something, like the light of the sun or whatever. And then Cormac goes on to this thing, but the light is a literal enemy, literal and figurative enemy. And this time, we get a very nice response from the Crusader saying, we don't fear the darkness, even though we are good. So it's, I like that response, and it kind of throws him off, it seems, like, you don't suggest evil is brave. I would think that it can be. I don't know. That's interesting. I'd like this. This is right here is why I'm kind of looking forward to traveling with Cormac, because all of the responses all the other heroes had been giving him were kind of, I wouldn't say indifferent, but like even the tomes, a lot of them just kind of dismiss the tomes as, oh, tomes, yeah, you can have the tomes. My character's like, well, I need to restore Zakarum. If it doesn't help me with Zakarum, then you can have it. But if it does, then no, it is mine. So, nah. So I'm wondering what other responses that Cormac will have. Like, is this going to be kind of a teaching thing for him, you know, since we're looking at two different orders? I am certainly looking forward to traveling with him, and even more so doing his follower quest eventually. Yes, I think that will be fun.
You will never defeat me!
You defeated the moment you surrendered to madness. Yes. Alright, let's go ahead and get into the corner and just spam. Stop. Hammer time. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Can't touch this. Alright, time to break everything in his room, because really, you should break everything, because legendaries have a chance to drop out of absolutely everything. Kill a monster, chance of legendary. Break a vase, chance of legendary. Open a chest, several chances of legendaries. So go around, do your best. Destroy everything you meet. Everyone you meet. Just destroy everything. It's worth it. Trust me. The light shall vanquish the Skeleton King. Said that right, Cormac? Tell him. Tell him I'll be back here. Yes, summon minions. Watch what I do to them. Fire. Fire everywhere. And Cormac will just heal me through the damage I take. This is really not a problem. See, in that time I just burned through every single thing he threw at me. I haven't even used my shield glare on him yet. Let's see, can I... Nope, he's immune to... He's immune to stuns, apparently. That's weird. I seem to be... There we go. I couldn't attack for a moment there. That was kind of odd. I don't know what caused that. Could have used my steed charge, I suppose. Let's have them fight each other. You can handle them, right, Cormac? I can take out Leoric over here. Yeah, this will take a while. He's got 102,000 hit points. And I'm really not concerned about taking damage from him because, there we go, Cormac just heals me through it. Alright, this fight is pretty much going to be more of the same, I think. I've got no reason to use the shield glare. It's not going to work on him. His minions are dying very quickly to the hammer. So yeah, it's going to be more of this. Lots of fire on the ground. Burn in the light. Quite, yeah, there's a lot of literal burning going on there. Alright, let me finish this fight. He's down about half, 60%, you know. And that, as they say, is that. It looks like he gave me a ring. 24 vitality and attack speed. Not bad. Not bad at all. Because I didn't buy any rings earlier. Nothing that seemed to be fitting. Alright, new helmet. Unearthed mask. 39 strength, 38 vitality. Good there. Instead of 4 life per hit, we get 6 life per second. Showing as a 2% increase there. Very nice. Let's go ahead and pop that on. And we get a shield, which is more armor and more block chance. Just lower block amount. It loses the strength, so I lose 8% damage according to this. But I gain toughness. Now what's especially tough about that is the chance to block is pretty nice. It's a 5% increase. And that synergizes with some skills like Shield Bash. Because that's 300% of your shield's block chance going into additional damage here. Same with Blessed Shield. Skills specifically involving the shield gain damage from the shield. I think what I'm probably going to do here is I will not use this, but I will give it to Cormac. And, you know, maybe later I will eventually use it, but it will not increase his damage, but it will increase his survivability. Excellent. Alright, well, let's go find the Fallen Star, shall we? And one thing that interests me about this part of the map
Traitor at last.
is that this area is filled with enemies and has, I think, at least one elite pack, possibly two, if you come here in adventure mode. So you kill the Skeleton King, come on down, and there's monsters here. So it's actually kind of worth coming down here really quick for a pack.
The falling star was a man. Interesting.
I am. It was. I remember falling.
Through several floors at least.
I am not your enemy. I think. Yes, I believe I have come with a warning. The darkness. The darkness is coming. I must. I don't remember.
Be calm and come with me. The fallen star was a man. Only a man. I begin to wonder if his fall is related to my crusade. I will take him to the old scholar. He may know. Cain, meet the falling star.
No man could survive such a thing. Who are you? What are you?
A warrior, I think. I came bearing grave news, but I cannot remember.
Your message might be all that can save us from impending doom.
New belt. Unfortunately, still not quite enough. Damage decrease, toughness increase, healing increase. It's intelligence though, so yeah, not happening. Alright, so nothing from him, anything here, just checking other conversations. Nope.
Tell me everything you remember, stranger. Every detail.
Falling. Fire. A sword of great power. It was part of me. But it shattered into 3 pieces as I fell.
It is vital that we find those pieces. I believe the sword made whole will restore your memory.
The goatmen are rampaging through the fields. Could the sword have anything to do with that?
Of course, of course. Just as the dead rose around the stranger, the sword pieces drove the goatmen to madness.
All goatmen are mad. They don't need a sword for that. But I will search their fields.
Good response. Perfect response, actually. Oh, I like the helmet. There we go. Take a look at that. It's red. Interesting. Very interesting.
Do you remember anything besides falling?
Only that there were surges of light and a kind of pain.
So, nothing then.
The emptiness gnaws at me. It is a constant frustration.
You have nothing to believe in. The sword will help.
Need something to believe in, yes.
The Horodrim were powerful mages gathered together by the Archangel Tyrael to defeat the three prime evils, Diablo, Mephisto, and Baal. They devoted themselves fully to the destruction of the demon lords and left behind valuable tomes and teachings.
How did you become the last of them?
My ancestor was the leader of the Horodrim, Jared Kane. When the Horodrim died out, their tomes stayed in my family. I was thrilled by tales of the Horodrim as a little boy, but it wasn't until I returned to them as an adult that I realized they contained deeper truths.
Kind of have expected Cormac to be tomes? Tomes? What about tomes? Well, he is staring at the Book of Cain, so he's distracted. Just a little bit distracted.
Tyrael is the angel of justice. He has been helping mankind for generations, though he is forbidden to do so in any direct manner. Long ago, the high heavens and the burning hells made a pact as a result of the Sin War that they would not interfere in our world.
The demons broke this pact, yet Tyrael did nothing.
The Angiris Council, the archangels that lead heaven, almost destroyed our world once to keep the demons from spreading their corruption upon it. If Tyrael were to act directly, it would alert the Council to the demons' activities here and imperil us all.
It must be interesting maintaining some kind of faith and religion when you have literal angels and demons in your world interfering. So the next step is to venture out into the fields, fight goatmen, and, well, regain a sword. Sword!
Do not question the path you are on. It will lead you through things that will try your very soul. But you'll always have me to talk to.
I am glad to hear it.
You pretend you are a rock, but I know the softness you don't want anyone to see. Why else would you continue to come and talk to Miriam?
Why else? Such a nice lady.
Oh, perhaps it was a jewel that fell from the sky. Oh, did you ever consider that?
It was not a jewel, it was a man.
A man? Now that is strange. Where do you suppose he came from? And how did he survive his fall? Did he have any jewels on him?
It's a man, baby. He's a man. Not a jewel. Yes. Well, I think that'll do it. We'll start searching for the sword in the fields. But this is a good stopping point. Obviously, before we go, just like every other time, we will do a little bit of crafting. There we go. Alright, so anything new, weapons-wise? The last thing I made was a two-handed flail with 22 weapon damage on it. See if there's anything new. 18.9 on this flail here. If I wanted to do a single hand. It is tempting. We are level 18. But I don't think we need it yet. I don't think we do. I mean, we don't... The Wrath hasn't been really a problem. I've been able, especially with the hammers, haven't really needed that. Haven't needed the survivability. Now that I've got Cormac with me, there's really not much of a need for more survivability. That and the recent 15% buff, as we talked about, it really helped. I just really haven't felt that I've been in danger of dying. And thankfully, things have been dying pretty quickly. So I'm happy with that so far. So let's look on to anything else. I've got a legendary belt, so let's not make that. I can improve the boots, it looks like. Actually, first, before anything else, let's get a relic for the Templar, shall we? Let's just make him a bit more powerful. I've only got 5 tiers, so we want to make sure that I outfit him here outright. So 53 strength, 54 vitality, life after kill, and monsters grant experience. That's nice.
Ah, good.
So he's at 95 damage. He is 2/3 of the way to my damage. So he's pretty close. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. And with the increase of skills like Onslaught, he is a worthy addition to my damage, I would say. Alright, so with that done, let's move on, shall we? Let's see. I can make an upgraded pair of boots. That would take the last of my tiers. I've already got legendary bracers, so we're good there. Chest armor is good. Shield is good. I could make some gloves, but that takes 6. Gloves and helm, as always, requires more tiers than I usually have, because they take 6 apiece. I already found a nice yellow helm, so that's fine. The only thing I'll really be missing out on right now is gloves, it looks like. Pants are good, I think. Don't need a shield. Shoulders are good. Actually, it looks like I'm pretty good as far as items are concerned. The only thing I want to make then are boots, because these will be a little bit better. Or should be, in theory. That'll take my tiers. Let's do it. Yeah, good. 1.6 damage increase and 3.2 toughness increase. 25 strength, 28 vitality. I lose the movement speed. That's always kind of an issue, but that's okay. I'm using a two-handed weapon, so naturally I lose a little bit of movement speed anyway. Well, maximum movement speed. And you know what I can do? So I could put some Paragon points into movement speed. Doesn't really change too much. Don't think I'll do it right now, though. So, yes, let's salvage that, and we'll get a tier back, and we're good. I think we are good to go. So pretty soon we will be level 19. We are less than 5% away from that, as we can see down here. Not much changes to gear, not much changes to level, really. Well, actually, yeah, 2 or 3 levels there. Got to 18, got Cormac his very first relic. Alright, not bad. I'd like that. I like it. Good progress. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me on this leg of the journey. Next time, we venture off into Fields of Misery from the Cemetery of the Forsaken, searching for the Khazra Den. That should be fun. Thanks for watching. Until next time.